Leaders, this is him with Friends of Iron, protecting families for protecting pack. I want to give you guys an update on the Mad Hatter Auto Tuner, the FOI Auto Tuner. Almost there, almost there. So maybe I just want to kind of give you guys an update, share with you guys what's going on. It's Friday, so here's what it looks like now. This is the developer part, so you can see all this extra stuff, but most likely you just see this part here. So let me just kind of scroll through it. You have the usual stuff. I've moved the one-click solution here. The initial guest tab is gone. The 24/7 bot army is going to be here. This is where the good stuff is. And R&D testing, that's there. Okay, so anyways, let's go back over here. I'm going to have a little disclaimer. If you uncheck that, all the bot trading stuff disappears. You check it, and then we'll have some terms here later on. The stuff comes on because, of course, I'm going to be like EOS. I'm not responsible for this thing. If whatever happens, it's not my fault. I'm not liable. Consider it as entertainment purpose only. It doesn't really work be careful and whatever, all that disclosure stuff, right? Just like EOS says when we invest in their coin. So, anyways, I understand what EOS is trying to do. Okay, so I have to do the same thing to protect my stuff, just in case you guys go, "Oh, I screwed you guys over." Well, I already told you right here that it was for funzy, and you didn't take my word for it and did it anyway. That's your bad, and whatever. I don't know. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna do my best to trade. I'm actually gonna use this too. So, what you want to do? I don't think any of this stuff works yet, but you'll be able to select your simulated wallet. You have Binance, HitBTC, whatever. You'll be able to select that and add that to the list of simulated wallets that you want to do. Once you add that there, you'll be able to then get a list here. Then based on Binance, HitBTC, or whatever, you'll be able to load all the base coins, which is like, BNB, ETH, BTC, whatever. And then you'll be able to select which base coin you want. After that, you load the base pairs or available pairs. Then you get like, you pick BNB, then you have QTM, BNB, and whatever else BNB. And then you select the ones that you want. After that, the max days to hold. So a little tool tip here that you can kind of check out. Basically, if it's holding the bag for more than, let's say, I think for my system, I put if it doesn't do anything in 6 hours, sell it. Because I do a lot more trading throughout the day, at least two trades per coin, or maybe three trades per coin. So 6.25 days is about, what, 6 hours? You want less than that, then you can kind of do the math and put it down. If you wanted to not hold for 1 day, then that's what you do. And then you start 24-hour tuning. Now, this is debatable whether or not, because when we backtest, it's always at 5-minute intervals. So, should we launch it at 5-minute intervals? If it does, then you can check that. It'll wait for 5 minutes. So right now it's like 1:11. Then it'll launch at 1:15, 1:20, 1:25, 1:30. But it's just a little slower on launching these bots. Okay, but as far as I know, if you just launch it right away, it takes about 2 days to tune all the BTC pairs on Binance. And yeah, I mean, it just kind of leave it running overnight and then it's done. So it's not too bad. I think it takes about 10-15 minutes per coin anyway. So yeah. So over 24 to 48-hour period, you'll get all the coins tuned. But we hit API rate limits. So instead of doing that, you're gonna have to select which ones you want to watch and monitor. Okay, and then as your computer can handle it, you can then add more over time. You'll be able to save these settings and whatnot. And then load, you can save and load and later on kind of thing. So you don't have to keep reselecting every time you start the tuner. It'll already be pre-selected, and you can just modify it or whatever. I'll probably need some clear settings for you to clear things or whatever. I don't know yet. And then you could kind of reselect things. So we'll see. That's a good idea. Let me write that down. You need to be able to clear this. Clear coin pairs. Okay. Alright, so that's another to-do list. And then this sets up the template. So once it sets up the template, I put the fee to be 1% of your portfolio. So whichever wallet you chose to trade with, or actually, is that right? Yeah, I think I need to rethink this a little bit. So it's gonna pick out whichever portfolio that you're gonna do. So I think I need another one to select a portfolio. Your simulated wallet has probably, I loaded mine with like 1,000,000 BTC, whatever it is. So it just is impractical to put 1,000,000 here, but it should be 1,000,000 off an actual wallet that you want to, that you're about to trade off. Or you want to base it off of. That way, when it switches over to live, it doesn't have to kind of readjust it. Just clone it right away, kind of thing. Then you'll be able to set up these indicators. Whether once you set them up and it sets up a template, then the template will be consistent with these settings here. So I kind of left that up to you guys. Give it a little variety, and I usually just do that only for check and reset middle. Then you want to save that too, so it kind of starts the settings that way. Okay. So here, the local API, I'll need to show you how to do that. You want to set up API address, but the port number needs to be a little different here in order to get your API address. So I think if you guys enter this on your own computer, you'll be able to pull in some market data, I think, with that. I don't think it requires a password or API key at this point, unless you want to do some trades. But you could probably pull some API market data from this, based on the local API settings that they give. So I'll show you guys how to set that up. They'll save that. Let's try to save that now. And as you can see, I can load it. Load, it pops back. Right there, see? Alright, cool. So that's done. And then, and that will tune it. Once you hit that off, it'll start tuning. I have a set of rules on how it's going to tune, which I will talk about in a different presentation. I won't go into details here. I just want to give you guys a quick update of what's going on. And then this 24 live trading, you'll be able to select the live wallet pair, so you have multiple wallets or accounts that you're managing. You'll be able to select those here. And then the live test percentage. So once it finds, once it tunes the bot and it monitors the forward testing, if it sees increasing profits per trade, it'll then place, it'll clone it and do a 1% of your portfolio of the live wallet. Okay. Once it does 1% of the portfolio live wallet, it's gonna monitor that transaction too. If it makes a positive profit, it'll then clone again and then go and do an 80%, which I need to fix this field. I think I hit the wrong one. So this would be a input, which I messed up on. 80%, then it'll go 80% of your portfolio, or you want to do 100%, go all in. That's up to you guys. I think 80% is cool for now, so that you have 20% aside just in case whatever happens, you can then buy on a dip or something like that. Depending on the strategy, you might not want to go all in, but you could. I don't know. Up to you guys. Max needs to hold position. So let's say if it bought in and it held it back for over 3 days, it'll just do a market sell. Okay, and go from there. So if for us, I think I would probably put a quarter. If it buys and it hasn't sold in 6 hours, do a market sell, get out, and then move on and do jump on another coin and trade again. So I wouldn't trade any more than this. I think trading more than 3 times a day, 3 complete trades a day is too many, and the fees rack up quite a bit. So try to keep it within that. Maybe you might want to go, something like that, I think. So it just all depends. I don't know yet until I start this thing up. And then the lowest allowable ROI. So let's say when you first make your first buy-in, right? It shows the negative ROI because you bought in, and your fee says, hey, you have a negative 0.1%. So if it starts to trade losses, negative maybe 2% or 5, I'll just put 5. If it starts to detect it going below 5% in overall ROI, it's just gonna market sell you and delete the bot and get you out, and then move on, and we'll take the loss. And this bot, this actual, the bot start underperforming, we'll get out. Now I don't remember if this is per trade. I think it's overall trade, but let me kind of think about this real quick. I had a thought process, and I don't remember right now. I think it was overall. If I traded in and maybe after 2 transactions it stayed negative or it decreased, or the profits are declining, even if it's a positive profit but it's the profits are declining, it'll also delete the bot and get you, and stop using that bot, because that's an indication that the market is turning, the profits are reducing. So the benefit of trading frequently throughout the day is that every trade is like a detection on how the market is performing. As I'm taking more and more profit, I'm going to stay in and trade more. As the profits are starting to decrease, then it's kind of an indication that the market's slowing down or hitting some resistance. Then delete the bot, retune, and move on to a different coin. Okay, so I have some more overall thought process of it here that you might be excited about. So let me see if I can find this, and then I could talk about it. Let me switch over here so you can watch me scramble through some paper, some stuff. Market sell. So there's gonna be rules for market sell. I think I might have some check marks. So if there's a certain rule that you want to apply to it, like getting out and all that stuff, if you don't want to get out and just stay in forever, you can have that option to do that. I'd rather just move on, get out of the market, and just move on to something else. No point in hanging in there, right? When it's just taking losses. So. Or I could just disable that so you don't do something that I don't approve of. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how people want that option or not. Because I think the more options you get, the more options you have to screw up. I don't know. But then that means you have to stick to my strategy, right? All right. So one more thing. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let me show you a couple more things here. There's some bulk functions here. Bulk management. Right here, you can load basically all the bots or all the sim bots, or load all the live bots, and then you'll be able to kind of start, stop, delete, and duplicate bots. Sometimes when you're tuning it, it does create duplicates, like because kind of it doesn't sync right, and so it clones it, but it doesn't detect the notification that it cloned because it took forever to clone it and it timed out. So it'll kind of redo it to re-clone it again. So you might have multiple ones. You want to do some kind of manual cleaning just in case, like. Some memory froze or whatever, and you just got it out of sync, and there's duplicates. You can delete that, or maybe it tried to start it, but then something happened. It didn't confirm it, and it didn't start it right away. You can then load all the inactive bots, which I think I should have an option. Load it all up, and then start them. Or you see like a pair. Let's say you switch between Ether pair to BTC pair to BNB pair. So let's say BTC is going down, it's downtrend, so it kind of sucks to go on a base coin that keeps on losing its value, and you want to switch to BNB. So you could then turn off all the bots for Bitcoin, and this and turn on all the BNB pairs. And you get it all tuned up and just kind of sitting there, so you have to retune everything. So it's just ready to lock and load it, ready to go. To retune once it's done. Then you could kind of switch it over, sell all your Bitcoins, move it to BNB, and then start all the BNB coin pair bots, and go from there. Okay, so these are just kind of bulk maintenance stuff that I'm working with. Now this table isn't working right now. I'm talking to the developer who created this UI to get this table loaded, so that's why I can't do anything until this part works. So it might take a week or two until he gets back to me. So if he doesn't get back to me in time, I might just create a new tab with a data grid of using another plugin to get it to work, and then just move on until this gets fixed later on. So, but this is huge. If I can't get this to work, it's just kind of a drag, really. I might have to kind of maybe give you some buttons here, some override buttons or something, to just say, hey, hit the button to delete, or hit the button to switch, hit the button to whatever. So it just be a ton of buttons, and you kind of have to blindly trust me, kind of thing. So yeah, let's see. That's that. Oh, and yeah, I told you about I can pull market data now with the local API, so I can then calculate the trade amounts of the portfolio. So I think I talked about this here, 1%, and this should be 80%. The way it does that is it grabs the wallet information, the total balance below. So let's show here. It'll grab this amount, so you kind of see what wallet has what in it, and then based on your coin, it'll get the price of that coin in BTC, or if it's in ETH, it'll do the conversions, or if it's BNB, do the conversion based on your coin pair, and kind of back calculate it, so then it can say, hey, you know what, if you have FOI account, and that's, you want 80% of that, then this is the amount of coins you need to buy, like 800 or whatever it is, and then it would just kind of like create that for all the 1% for all the Simbots, and then the test clones, and then also the confirm live stuff. So it can quickly do that at that point in time, and then let the bots run and monitor them. Okay, so there is. Okay, what other strategies do I have? I want to talk about the market sell, because I built a lot of rules for the market sell. I'm trying to find that. Well, I guess off the top of my head. Alright, let's see here. Check last complete trade, a positive. Alright, so anyways, monitor live bots. If completed trade, if there's losses, turn off. If the bot is older than 3 days, retune. Check complete trades. Alright, I'll just kind of go over it. So anyways, if the live trades are decreasing in profit, it's gonna turn off the bot, delete it, and get you out. Now, and then if it starts to take losses too, it'll do the same. If it's holding the bag for more than what you set, it'll market sell you and get you out after 6 hours or a day or whatever it is. And I think that is all. That's all as far as getting out. And deleting the bot, and then just kind of monitoring all that too. Now, I think partial filled orders, I need to handle that too. So someone had mentioned that if an order has partially filled, it kind of gets stuck. So I need to build that. I think that's important, so I will build that. So any partially filled orders, it'll go ahead and readjust the coin amounts, whatever you have purchased. It'll then adjust it in the coin trade amounts, and then kind of get you back in the game instead of getting stuck. And then that's it. Okay, so if that's the case, then I think that's important, because especially for big orders, big amounts, that's a problem. Now, I don't know about later on if you have a big amount, you want to create 4 or 5 bots of the same clone. That's something to think about for later. But the more I add, the longer it's gonna take for you guys to get to it. And I just want to get something basic first, get it to you guys, start making some money, and then I can improve on tiny little stuff and feedback later on. There's lots of ideas I can totally add to it, but it's just a matter of I want to get to market ASAP and start making some passive income on this active trading stuff. So I hope you guys are excited. Let me know what your feedbacks are, any suggestions, comments. Appreciate it. Thank you guys, and have a great weekend. I think that it's I promise on the 15, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm gonna I still need to build out the 24/7 function and a couple of ideas that we just talked about now, and then I want at least 2 weeks of testing. So I'm gonna say May 31st now to get this all done. If I do get it done earlier, I will release it. I also am getting a licensed server set up. I need to be able to track that too. Now, when I release it, and I see it, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have a little cutoff period. So if you want to get in soon, get in now, and then once I launch it, the end of that month, I'm gonna kind of like close it, okay? And then just kind of support my current group for now, and then months afterwards, I'm gonna relaunch it. But once I realize what kind of value this tool is, I'm gonna price it according to that. If I see it just just knocking it out of the park. And also to protect my current members, because if a lot of people have this, it can't be good either. It just kind of, takes away from each other. Kind of like there's so much out of the pie, right? So if I give it too much at whatever, and everyone else has it, then it kind of defeats the purpose of this. Now I have to build a tool that's even way better than what I have right now, and yada yada, right? So I want to protect that. So if you see it, the opportunity that I'm presenting now, I know you're taking a risk on me too without knowing whether it's actually going to work. Kind of like EOS, it hasn't launched yet. But if you really take that risk for me, then yeah, you're going to get in a lower price. And if it works out, you're going to benefit. If not, then you lost smaller amounts. I don't know. But at least you got an opportunity to get in. Rather than if it works out, then I'm going to have to increase the price on it and close it out. It's going to be harder for you to kind of get into my next group kind of thing, and go from there. So thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.